Hi trader, this is a video from Admiral Markets. My name is Chris, and today's focus is taking a look at a successful implementation of changes. It's always difficult to get those changes done and take the actions needed. And especially, of course, with the new year coming about in 2016, many of us will be trying to do that. So how can we successfully do that? Here are some steps to think about. First of all, though, before looking at this video, please pause this video to take a look at the disclaimer and read it thoroughly. And when continuing watching this video, you agree with this disclaimer. All right, the steps needed. Well, basically, collection of thoughts is the very first thing we want to think about, because we want to get all the ideas on paper. Otherwise, they will be constantly kind of circling in our mind, and we will not have the peace of mind to focus on the ideas and go further with them. They'll just be consistently reminding us of something we need to do, but we will not be able to move forward with them. So we need to collect them, put them, write them down, and make sure that we have a complete list of everything, in fact, to free our mind and to be able to continue to the next step, which is then deciding the importance of all these things. Obviously, each thought has maybe some importance because we're thinking about it, but obviously some things are going to be more long-term, some are going to be more short-term, some are going to be more important, some are just going to be details. We want to make it in such a way that we, of course, decide which steps, which things do we really want to change, perhaps for the new year, perhaps for 2016, in our personal lives, but also, of course, in our trading, obviously, as well. So what I would propose is that you divide those thoughts into short-term, long-term, and you can, of course, make different divisions here depending on time frames. And the last category, which you kind of delete and say, okay, that thought was not that important. So once you decided that relevance, let's say, or the time frame, you can also mark it as how important is it to you personally, how many resources are needed, and what do you think is the success rate of implementing that this time around? How big of a chance do you think you have? So you can decide about the prioritization of those thoughts. Now, once you've then decided which thoughts, which goals are worth pursuing the most, we can think about the purpose and vision, which means basically looking at the why behind the goal. Why are we doing this? Why do we want to have trade evaluations? Are they really necessary, right? We know they are, but why? Think about the purpose. And the vision is not only imagining ourselves, filling in the evaluation, but how? How is that done? And that could be, for instance, filling in our evaluation form after each trading day. That's the vision. The purpose is evaluations, and the vision is a more concrete vision of that purpose. Then you want to brainstorm. Let your creativity go a natural way so that it can find questions and aspects connected to that goal, and you'll automatically create a lot of questions and steps. Just let your creativity run free. And after that, you want to organize your thoughts, and you want to organize and structure the brainstorming session, and then make actionable steps. All right. So a bit more about purpose and vision. Why and how, basically, that's the difference, right? We want to make sure that we understand what we're doing from a top-down approach. We want to understand that why we want to have, for instance, perhaps a second strategy. What's the goal? Maybe you want to have a bit more diversification. Maybe you want more setups. You have to understand why you have a certain goal in your trading, right? And then you want to envision how you do that. How are you going to create that second strategy? That's the vision part. That's why purpose and vision are so intertwined. With brainstorming and organizing, it's about thinking and structure, right? The brainstorming is the thinking part. Organizing is the structuring of that brainstorm session. And with actionable steps, it's really about formulating what steps and then really being concrete about those steps and then doing those steps. And formulating, that's something that I want to dive into. Let's take a few examples of some steps that you might want to take and how you can do that for trading purposes. And this can be used, of course, for personal life too, but we're going to focus on trading, obviously. For instance, let's say you want to take more setups in your trading, right? So, for instance, you want to have more opportunities in the market because maybe you filter out too many setups. Instead of just saying, I want to take more setups, that's not an actionable step. you might want to make it, for instance, find a suitable second strategy within 3 months, or aim for 10 setups at minimum in a week, unless the market slows down. So you want to make it more specific and therefore more actionable. In your personal life, you might write down windows, but that's not enough. You want to make it actionable. That means, for instance, take a cloth and clean the windows. That's an actionable step. You know exactly what to do. It's a simple example, but just to prove the point here. You might want to study more Forex material, for instance. Instead of saying learn more, you could say I want to join Admiral Markets webinars twice a week and see one video on the Admiral Markets YouTube channel. That could be a very specific and concrete goal. And that's something actually you can start from this week onwards. Take a look at admiralmarkets.com, click on education, and find the webinars. And you can sign up for those webinars with Nenad and myself on Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And I'm looking forward to see you then. So I hope that this video gave you a bit of a structure how you can actually translate a change or a New Year's resolution into actionable steps that help you towards actually implementing that goal for changes in your trading, improvements in your trading. Wish you all good trading and see you soon. Cheers.